Highgarden is the seat of House Tyrell. It's located in the Reach, in between Old Town and King's Landing. It lies on the River Manda, exactly where the river meets the Rose Road. Because of its positioning in between Old Town, King's Landing and Lannisport, the three biggest cities in the realm, loads of wares, trade and traffic go through Highgarden. Highgarden is also the region's capital.
After I set off on my travels for the Wall, my first stop was to be Highgarden, accompanied by my horse and a member of the Night's Watch named Yoren, who, I will say, seemed to enjoy his travels. I would imagine that after being surrounded by blistering cold for 99% of the year, that recruiting from across the kingdom would be a pleasant change of pace for him. We travelled for a few days, though in no kind of rush. We would stop and talk around a fire every night, where I fed my curiosity as being sheltered from the facts of giants and White Walkers my whole life. I, like many others, thought of them as myths to frighten youngsters into behaving themselves, but Yoren assured me they were very real. I took his words on board, but was still very sceptical. We got our first glimpse of Highgarden from around 2 miles away. The place was beautiful to behold, wrapped in what looked like a blanket of flora and more colours than I knew existed. A vibrant and stunning spectacle, but at the same time you could see its strategic advantages. It was built atop a hill towering over the surrounding area. Walls built high and of the thickest stone held together by the best mortar. We closed the distance and were soon entering the most stunning city I had ever laid eyes on.
Highgarden was founded by Garth Greenhand, one of the legendary kings from the time of the First Men. For centuries, he and his descendants, House Gardener, ruled over Highgarden as kings of the Reach, like the Starks ruled over the North as kings of Winter and the Lannisters as king of the Westlands. During that time, there was no royal crown ruling over the Seven Kingdoms. There were kings everywhere over Westeros. When Aegon the Conqueror invaded Westeros, House Gardener of Highgarden rode together with the Lannisters against Aegon. Unfortunately, entire House Gardener was slaughtered by Aegon's dragons and the Lannisters bent a knee. This left Highgarden without a ruler. However, House Gardener's steward, Harlan Tyrell, yielded in name of the city. In gratitude, Aegon gave Highgarden to the Tyrells and named them the Lords of the Reach.
To my surprise, we were welcomed openly, greeted by commoners who took the reins of our horses as we dismounted and took them for feed and water. We made our way through the city. In places such as this, it was unusual to see lords and ladies in the presence of common folk unless they needed support, but as we passed an orphanage, we saw Elena Martell surrounded by the children. They obviously loved spending time with her, and by the look on her face, it seems as though she did too. The children all vowing for her attention, cries of Auntie Olenna as each tried to grab her attention. The most unusual thing in the whole scene was there seemed to be no members of the city guard protecting her. The entire city seemed too good to be true. We made our way to a local pub to quench our thirsts and fill our bellies before the next day's travels.
The road leading from the Wall to King's Landing is called the King's Road. The road from King's Landing to Old Town is called the Rose Road. Because of Highgarden's location on the Rose Road, right where the road meets the river, there is great traffic and trade passing through Highgarden. This caused Highgarden to grow, and under the rule of House Tyrell, the taxation went up, turning them into one of the wealthiest great houses of Westeros.
I woke up the next day with quite the headache from the drink the night before. It must have been a good half an hour before I could bring myself to move. I went outside and the sun was shining, breaking through the clouds like God was reaching through from the heavens and caressing the fields of flowers to help them grow. The fields spanned for further than my eyes could focus. The colours, the smells, it was truly an amazing sight to see. Sadly, my experience was to be short-lived as myself and Yoren were soon back on our horses and heading towards King's Landing. I only hope that the beauty would span as we continued further north.
Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe for more Game of Thrones content. Also, click the eye in the sky for more videos. Love, Lord of Ice and Fire.